Indie Intel, guys. If you don't know what Indie Intel is, basically we take usually a video game made by an indie studio and shout it out and give it some love, try to get it some help on Kickstarter. This one's different. This is a short, not a short film, an indie film, indie horror film. And what's interesting is the director and writer is a fellow YouTube creator with over 2 million subscribers. Also, big fan of his work. I know you as well. Huge fan of his reviews that he does on YouTube. This is going to be his writing and directorial debut. So
yeah,
they've also already completely
feature debut.
Feature debut. They've smashed the Kickstarter already.
Yeah,
with 23 days left. So they don't really need any help. But if you want to get on the ground level, this is a great place to start. So why don't you tell me about Shelby Oaks?
Yeah. So this is something that he was supposed to film, I think, last year or during the pandemic. A couple of things happened. He did secure some funding, but he didn't secure enough funding to he'd have to compromise his vision. He would have to do things in certain ways. And basically he went back and forth, and he finally came out a few weeks ago and he was like, listen, I wasn't going to do this. I don't want to do it, but I need some additional funding to help me make the movie that I want to make. So he doesn't have to make any concessions, basically. So, Shelby Oaks is going to be set and filmed in Ohio in partnership with Paper Street Pictures. Shelby Oaks will be Chris Stuckmann's feature directing debut and first feature based on an original script also written by Chris Stuckmann. So it is going to be shot as a traditional feature, but with some elements of found footage, which we're both big fans of. Shelby Oaks is a horror film about a missing paranormal investigators, the Paranormal Paranoids, as they're called. The dark legacy they uncovered and the far-reaching effects their investigation has as Mia, I'm assuming the main character, searches for her sister Riley, the lead paranormal investigator, 12 years later. As Mia uncovers new and disturbing leads related to Riley's disappearance, she uncovers evidence of a hidden supernatural evil dating all the way back to her and Riley's childhood. So as you mentioned, Brett, they smashed their goal, their $250,000 goal. They're at $283,000, over $283,000, almost $284,000 at the time of recording this. And at the time of recording this, they have 23 days to go. So probably less if you're not watching this live. So they smashed it. But I've been following this project for a while and listening to Chris talk about it for a while. And when he announced the Kickstarter a few weeks ago, I signed up to be notified when it came out. It came out. I looked at the tiers and I was like, all right, I backed it. So I backed this at the $75 tier.
What do you get?
Yeah, you get a physical Blu-ray of the movie, a poster, behind the scenes stuff, a bunch of other things. There's other tiers before that. You could do like as little of $5 and stuff like that. But so this, I like this project. I like the sound of it. We're fans of indie horror, and I think it's good. It's something good to support. And Chris, specifically, when he speaks about it, you can tell how passionate he is.
So I'm going to bring up two things that I think are really special about this project. So I don't know as much as about Shelby Oaks as you, but one thing I do know a lot about is the Paranormal Paranoids. Are you familiar with the Paranormal Paranoids, Josh?
I'm not, actually.
So this is actually the thing that interests me the most about this project is the inclusion of the Paranormal Paranoids. So for those that don't know, and Josh, I now know that you are one of those people that don't know. It was a YouTube series back when YouTube was still pretty young, actually. And it was a group of friends, and they went and did paranormal investigations. It was shot, and it was found footage, and it was shot like it was real. Like it wasn't scripted. It wasn't fake. They came across as very real people. Mm-hmm. And they were a group of friends. They just went out and did paranormal stuff. Well, increasingly as the episodes went on, more paranormal stuff started happening in the background of the videos. Kind of like something that you and I have been writing, Josh.
Yeah.
I took a lot of inspiration from the Paranormal Paranoids, if I'm being honest with some of my ideas here. And eventually it would almost take on an ARG-like feel where people would be talking about the Paranormal Paranoids on forums and in the comment section, like, do they not realize that thing's behind them right now? Like, what the hell's going on? And eventually, the last video that would be uploaded on the Paranormal Paranoids channel would be something very fucking spooky happening, and the main character, Riley, seemingly being killed or taken away or kidnapped, right? So that's what's really interesting about this to me is that he's taking a property that has been online. He himself made it on YouTube, and now he's taking a story from that same platform and he's turning it into a feature-length film. It almost reminds me of the Blair Witch Project and the newer movie, The Blair Witch, that came out, where they take an old thing and they make it new. They give it a sequel kind of thing. Continue that story, right? So I'm really excited to see where the story of the Paranormal Paranoids goes in Shelby Oaks. And if you want to know more about Paranormal Paranoids, Night Mind on YouTube covered it and actually did a whole video series about Paranormal Paranoids and all the creepy stuff that happens in the background. So you don't have to go and watch the actual YouTube videos. You can simply just watch Night Mind's video and he'll kind of detail the whole thing for you, catch you up to speed.
Yeah. Well,
and then on top of that, there's one more thing I want to mention, Josh. The Kickstarter, if you're interested in how movies are made and you want to learn more, this Kickstarter is perfect for you because Chris is going to be taking every single aspect of the filmmaking process for Shelby Oaks and making it available for you to watch as well.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that interests me about it too, is seeing how, now this is going to be a little bit of a larger budget indie movie. Not really. I mean, he's probably making this for less than $1 million. But it's going to be cool to see that. And that's something that he is clearly very passionate about, because he is, he started his YouTube channel because he made and fell in love with movies as a kid, right? When he was younger, and made fan films of like Indiana Jones and stuff like that. And then he reviewed movies for a long time. I've followed him for a long time, and he's always talked about wanting to make a movie. He loves horror specifically. That is his genre, horror and anime, right? So I always kind of felt that, because both of you and I also, horror is like our favorite genre. So it's cool that he is going to share and give back, along that journey with everybody else, in hopes of probably inspiring others and, hopefully helping others make what they want to make too. So. Absolutely.
Well, I don't have anything else to say except I hope it's good. I hope it doesn't turn out to be a steaming pile of garbage. I see this kind of being, this is what makes me worried. Like I said, it reminds me of Blair Witch, but also it reminds me of Marble Hornets. If you remember, they made a motion picture off of Marble Hornets, and it turned out to be absolutely awful.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't turn into that, but I'm really hoping that it turns out good for Chris and for everybody.
Yeah, well, we wish them best of luck. If you're interested in checking it out and support backing Kickstarter and getting in on some of those rewards, links will be in the description. So check it out. Shelby Oaks, Chris Stuckmann. That's it.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Haptic Intel. Did you do it? Subscribe right now.